As with all things in life, as you go along, you make your own catalogue of favourite things, be it your favourite band, your favourite actor, your favourite film, and so on. And in the modelling world, it's no different. Hello, welcome back to the Adrian Project. I'm Adrian, with a face for radio, and on today's episode, I'm going to be doing a plain talking review of one of my favourite kits, Tamiya's 1/35th scale Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panther. So, cue the music. So here we go, Tamiya's Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panther. As always, got superb drawing on front of the actual tank. The kit number for this, if you're interested, is 350652200. Just around the edges, you've got a little advert for more tanks in the kit, in the range, sorry, and there's a lot of bump there. It's in Japanese, so sorry, I can't tell you what that is, but I'm assuming it's a history of the Panther. So let's have a look what's inside the box. So you get your hull and top of the hull, bag with all the parts in, set of rubber band tracks, and you get two different sets of instructions, one in Japanese and one in English. So, as usual, I'll go away, I'll get all the parts out of the bag, and then we'll have a look at first at the instructions and the decals. Okay, so here we are with the instruction leaflet. You get a full history there on the front about the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Got this black and white version of the same drawing that was on the top of the box. Over the page, and you have a handy sprue map and a list of all the parts. All the parts are numbered, tells you what they are, which is a nice way of doing it. Over onto the next page, and this is where we start the build. It's got a little rundown there of things to do while you're doing the build, a little few hints and tips. We're starting off with the exhaust system on the back panel, then we'll be fitting that onto the bottom hull part there, and we're fitting some of the wheel mounts there. I'm telling you not to cement them, so I'm assuming the wheels will go around if you do this properly. Now, I can remember when I were a lad, I think I was, must be about 10, 11, something like that. I had a version of this kit and it came with a little motor inside. It was a remote control. That's the one where you have the wires coming out the back. So I do remember that these wheels, if you do it properly, will move. So if you want that extra bit of realism to your model, just be careful how you're putting the wheels on. You'll just slip them on, and then you've got these caps here, a little dab of glue that will go on the axle. They'll just keep all the glue away from the wheels, and you will be fine. It's just making a note about how you fix the wheels on, because there are different ones. As you can see, you have that interlocking wheel mechanism on the Panther. That's how the Germans did it back in the day then. Back in the day, look at me sounding American. Okay, so all the wheels and the bottom half of the hull is done in sections 1, 2, 3 and 4. Moving on to section 5, it's a 2-piece barrel for the gun. Whether you want to go aftermarket kit and get a turn metal on, totally up to you. I personally don't really bother with that. I think that's for the modelers who like ultra realism and go and put them into displays. For me, these little beauties are just done fine. And then we're getting onto the attachment for the gun. We are doing a little workable hatch here, which I think goes on the back. I think that's a escape hatch. Well, it's up to you whether you want it working or not, because of course on this version there isn't an interior. I should imagine, again, if you want to go down the aftermarket route, you can get an interior for this model. That is actually on the back of the turret there. So there we go. I should know this kit by heart. I've done it that many times, but it's been a few years since I last did it. Moving on to part A, we'll be doing the tank commander, which, as we know, Tamiya do really good figures with the kits. Putting on the hatch manifold there, a few hooks, spare tracks. Over onto part 10. We've got making up the gun barrel carriage. Then we have got utensil carrier there. You got all the bits and bobs that you'll be putting on the outside. Section 14, we're doing the machine gun, and if you glue that right, you can have the machine gun moving. That is another hatch that you can have working there, I think. And part 15 is just putting the extra tracks, and that's on the outside of the hull. Moving on to part 16, there's a few more greeblies to put on the outside of the hull, and then you slip in the hull top onto the hull bottom. There is a little groove there that you lock into and glue that into place. Then it's showing you to use a hot screwdriver to mold the two halves of the tracks together. I think I'll use super glue, it's a lot less messy, and that's what you should have for the finished tank. And it's a little guide there where to put your decals. Speaking of which, here we go. This is the decal set that comes with the kit. So you do have the option of making 3 different vehicles. I say I would have done one of each when I had these, because I'm sure I did this model 3 times, but they are all in register. It's Tamiya's own brand. Look fine to me, no problem with those. I've never really had any issue with Tamiya decals in the past, so I'm not expecting any issues here now. So that is the instructions and the decals. Let's have a look at the parts. Right, so this is the hull top and bottom. As you can see there, like I said before, I did have a version when I was a lad. We put the motor in the back, and it was remote control. The wire came out there. It had a remote control box with the batteries in and a couple of levers to make it go forwards, backwards, left and right. 9 times out of 10 the tracks had come off, but every now and again you did manage to get it set just right, because I think there was a screw hole there. Oh, that was a screw hole, that's where the wire came out. There was a screw hole there that you adjust the tension, so you move the motor inside, backwards and forwards to adjust the tension, and sometimes you could get it to move without the tracks coming off. So anyway, I'm having a look and just cannot see a date anywhere. There's no date stamp on it, but annoyingly there is the Tamiya logo on the bottom of the hull, which would have been loads better if it was on the inside, because now that is going to have to be sanded off. And there's a big dirty lug there from when it was taken from the sprue, in the factory. So there we go. It's in the usual buff coloured plastic that Tamiya do their German World War II kits. This is the top half, and straight away we are looking at that, and that is identical to the model I am doing now, which is the Eagle Transporter, because this part was used on the Eagle Transporter on one of the back pods for some of the detailing. So yeah, you know, you look out and you do notice these little things as well. There is some engraved detail there. That's not looking too bad. Whether you want to go aftermarket, get some photo etch on that, totally up to you. There's no Zimmerit coating on this, so that'd be another little project for you if you've never done it before. Or I think you can buy Zimmerit decals now, as I can recall, but it's totally up to you whether you want to use them or not. Okay, so as we can see, we get 3 sprues and a sprue with caps on. They are the caps for the wheels, some nice rivet detail on those. Does feel very, very greasy, so this will definitely need to have a wash because it feels like it's covered in release agent. So let's have a look at the first sprue. We've got some nice little bits and bobs on that, and that is the back plate, I think. Yeah, back plate. That's the way the exhaust goes. You've got your tank commander figure. You're not looking too bad, and you've got a tank driver there as well. It does seem to have a bit of a sink mark in the back, but I don't think you're going to notice that if you're going to be putting it into the model. You've got some spare tracks, and we've got some tow cable there, which I think when you come to be using that, you have to put in hot water to let it go soft and pliable, so you can actually bend it without snapping it. Whether you want to do that or just nip the ends off and use some twisted fuse wire, is totally up to you. Not seeing any flash on these parts at all. And the tank commander, yeah, it's showing his age a bit. Not as crisply moulded as the newer versions are, but you do your best you can with those. Like I say, Tamiya are known for doing some decent figures. So there we go. Next sprue up, we have got top of the turret. That's for the turret to attach to the top half of there. That's the bottom of the turret, sorry, yeah. I'll get there in the end, don't worry. You've got your 2-piece gun barrel, so that is going to be requiring work to get rid of the seam. There's the gun manifolds and the exhaust. You get a couple of machine guns there. That'll be for going on the top of the turret. That is the mounted machine gun in the front of the tank, and you do have a couple of covers there as well. You've got these little hooks there for hanging your spare tracks on, and you've got your grab handles there. So they will look rather nice. Now this, I've got a bit of a bend in the sprue, but I don't think it's not on any of the parts, it's just the sprue that's bent. Last sprue coming up is all the wheels. So there you go, some lovely detailing on those wheels. It shouldn't be too difficult to paint around on the rubber parts on that. It is very pronounced there, sort of a lip, so I don't think it's going to be too hard to get the paint correct on this, because that's one of those little things I seem to struggle with is when it comes to painting wheels, I always end up getting a blob of something where it shouldn't be, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem on that. You've got your drive sprockets there, got some lovely detailing just there on the wheels, so that'll take a wash nicely, and there are your wheels. So there we go. Right, oh, there we go, hang on a minute. And this is the rubber band tracks, sorry, I nearly forgot those. You either love them or you hate them, but for me, they'll just do the job fine. Like I say, I'll be putting those together, dab a super glue, I think, rather than using the hot screwdriver method, which can make a mess of the track if you do it, hold it on a little too long, or you've got your blade a bit too hot. So there we go, that's your rubber band tracks. So that's all the parts. As usual, I'm now going to go and do a photo montage so you can have a closer, better look. Yeah, so there we have it. Tamiya's 1/35 scale Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panther. Like I said previously, I must have had at least 3 copies of this kit. Absolutely loved it, and I say the memories just come flooding back looking inside this box now. So just for myself personally, for the nostalgia value, it's going to reach the top of the scale for me. Absolutely love this kit. I'm assuming it's just going to build as well as it did back then when I first was into the hobby. I can't see why not. Tamiya, however you want to call it, fantastic brand, and they also always make great tank kits. So with that in mind, I'm going to give Tamiya's 1/35 scale Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panther my full 5 evil Ednas. And that's the end of yet another episode. I hope you all enjoyed that one. If you did, and you haven't done so already, could you please remember to subscribe to my channel. At the moment, I'm aiming to get 1,000 subscribers, and as soon as I hit that 1,000th subscriber mark, I will donate at least £20 to Macmillan nurses here in the UK. For those of you living outside of the UK and you don't know who the Macmillan nurses are, they are there to help everyone with cancer live life as fully as they can, providing physical, financial and emotional support. I myself have had their services firsthand, and I can tell you they are exceptional. A lot of the time they do have to rely on public donations, so if you'd like to find out more about Macmillan nurses, or in fact give a little donation yourself, then please visit www.macmillan.org.uk. Okay, I'd like to thank you all again for watching. It's very much appreciated. Don't forget, you can still follow me on Facebook and on Twitter if that's going to be easy for you. And here's to seeing you all again on the next episode of the Adrian Bow Project.